Greetings, travelers.
Greetings.
I just jumped in. I'm just doing it, Mark.
Now on. I'm ladies first. There we go.
Yes, I'm wearing my Nope shirt. I am ready to go for this. So,
yeah, it is listener tales. Oh my gosh, travelers, you send us so much good stuff.
Yes,
we are trying to keep ahead of it because you just send us so much, and it's wonderful. Every one of them is marvel to read.
Yes.
Oh my god. But Erica, we have to address the elephant in the room or the Bigfoot in the room.
I was going to say, do we have to address the sassy in the room?
Yep, because we have breaking news. If you've been under an internet gopher hole and haven't looked at this,
you're very much like me, and we're like, ugh. That was my reaction.
Yeah. If you Google Bigfoot news, you'll know what's going on. There is a documentary that has premiered at a couple film festivals, has not done wide release yet. It is called Capturing Bigfoot. And in this documentary, they have supposedly found a lost 16 millimeter film canister that was in a safe for 60 years. And this one lady found it, and she's friends with this documentary filmmaker. She didn't know how to look at it because 60 millimeter film. He was able to look at it and was watching it. He's like, what is this? And then he realized it is very similar to the Patterson-Gimlin film. He actually thought it was a copy of it, like an original copy. And then he starts looking at it more and realizes this is a rehearsal video, a test video of the Patty film, which is the Bigfoot film.
Can we start? I'm going to need to go back in time here for a moment.
Yeah.
So
Wayback Machine, 1967.
Yeah, way back. And I really hope this has enough snacks. If not, Carrie, I'm going to be sad. So we have this film, and it's been widely debated whether or not it was real or not. I have seen more documentaries than I want to count that go, it's real, it's not real, it's real, it's not real, it was fake, I was the guy in the suit. Like we've heard it all. But Mark, you've been a part of this way more than I have. So what is your, where do you begin on this topic?
Well, until we actually see this documentary, it was going to be widely released pretty soon, but then now, because this has hit Variety and Hollywood Magazine, I guarantee you there's a bidding war. There is somebody wanting to make some money off of this. And I would not be surprised to see it go from a 30-minute documentary to a 3-hour Netflix special like Tiger King.
Okay, I can guarantee it's not going to be as entertaining as Tiger King, because I still sometimes go back and watch that and go, how do we live in a world where this happened?
Yes. Anyway, there are many guys in this field who have based their whole career on this being real, that this is the linchpin evidence of Bigfoot and that nothing else matters. But then there's those of us who go, like here at the podcast, how many Bigfoot encounter stories do we get? Speaking of listener tales. And they're like, this didn't look like what I expected. It didn't look like the film. It didn't look like that. And I've talked to so many hunters and people who say it looks completely different. And
okay. This is, listeners, I'm not debunking this, whatever. That's not my goal here. What I'm going to say is this, is that there's stuff out there that we don't know what it is. That's just the truth. There's stuff out there that we don't know what it is. What does that mean? That means that there's, sorry for that noise. That was a speaker going off. I apologize. Don't wreck your cars. I think that, when it comes to stuff, glamming on to one thing, it's kind of like the idea that the only aliens that are out there are gray aliens, if they're out there. But I'm just saying, only the grays exist, and that's what all aliens look like. And a lot of people, that's what they make their whatever look like, right? Gray aliens, that's a thing. All the alien movies for the longest time had those kind of aliens, except for my favorite movie, which we like to talk about. So I think that, if that is debunked, which is I think that's okay.
Hmm?
Because that doesn't disprove what everybody's experienced. I mean, look at how many in just the last month, like the amount of sounds and calls and recordings, and like something is happening because
especially in Ohio, we just had 8 sightings last month.
In Pennsylvania, it's been going crazy up in that top part of the Appalachians.
And that's part of this is like, why are they releasing this now? Why, after 60 years, did they just open this safe and figure out this film? There's a lot of questions to this, just as many as there are to the original Patterson-Gimlin film. I even have questions about the story that Patterson-Gimlin were trying to film, because it was all from the 1950s. It was made for a newspaper contest. And that's a whole nother story. We'll do a deep dive on this after the documentary has been viewed and weighed and measured by us, which may be a while now. So don't expect that anytime soon. It may come out soon, and we'll change the schedule and do that. But right now, all it is right now is still he said, she said, because it's some people saying, no, it's not real, and some people saying, yes, it is. But I do have to say, a few of my peers and friends, people who I respect and who have seen this and have came straight out of viewing it, a couple of them have 100% said it shattered their life. Santa Claus is dead. The Patterson-Gimlin film is 100% fake. So I trust their opinions, but until I see it myself, I'm not gonna 100% say. But if they say that, I'm gonna lean that way. And I've always had questions about this film. You and I have discussed this many times, that I have issues.
Other documentaries where the people that said they were in the I don't even remember the name of the
Bob Hieronymus said he was in the suit. He's in this movie, and he's saying that the documentary, he's shown the film in the documentary, and he says that's the suit, but that's not me. That's why it looks different. And then the film itself has apparently the timestamps and all the markings of Kodak of the day, but that can be faked with AI now too. So maybe this is AI. Who knows? We don't know until we see it and actually test it. It's right now it's all speculation. Anybody telling you different, I don't know what to tell you.
And people are going to have their opinion regardless of that. Everybody's going to have an opinion of it. I just want for our listeners out there, our travelers, to know, regardless of the outcome of this particular situation, it doesn't change experiences that you've had, experiences that others have had, because most of the stories, like we're going to do listener tales today, are not, I don't recall a single listener tale that we have ever read that said, I saw a Bigfoot and it looked exactly like it did in the Bigfoot film.
Yep, exactly. So, and we had Tim Dills on, we've had Harley Owens on, we've had all these Bigfoot hunters on, and every one of them says something a little different, that they saw something that they didn't understand. And that's why it's preternatural, paranormal, whatever you want to call it. Paranormal means beyond the normal. Preternatural, something we don't understand yet. I think these are the terms. I think Bigfoot's still a thing. I still think the ones this is upsetting are the people who think Bigfoot is 100% an ape that's hiding in North America or in all these other countries. The ones that aren't fazed by this are the ones that said, it's weird. We don't understand it. It's got some woo to it, as they like to call it. And I think that's where we're at. This is definitely going to shake up the Bigfoot community for the next 6 months, year, however this falls out. So we'll see.
I agree. And the one other thing in this last comment I want to make, and we should move on to recording our amazing listener tales, is I came into this new, like, you know, that I loved your stories. We can go for our origin story. And I have learned more and more about this, being a part of this community and being a part of the various groups. The one thing I can say is somebody who's not been as entrenched in this my entire life as you have, which I think makes this a good dynamic when we're talking about things like this, is this. Every quadrant of the world that has talked about these things, whether it's people in the North, people over in, the Northwest, people in other countries, people in Canada, people, is that they haven't all seemed the same. Like the creature that people see a lot, the skunk ape, as they like to call it, because we name great things in Florida. The boojum here in the chair, like there are stories, but that doesn't, every single one of them that I've heard has not looked like that film. That's not what people have described. The Ohio Grassman. I mean, you guys have talked to witnesses. They do not describe it looking like a walking giant gorilla, which is what that film kind of does, is like a walking upright in black fur, which I'm not saying they don't have dark fur, but I'm okay with that, this film being debunked, because it doesn't change what all these other eyewitnesses that I've met over time have seen. They don't say that. The ones I'm not saying some don't, but most that especially have that one experience or the couple experiences don't say that that's what it looks like.
Yeah, everyone. Stacy Brown.
Yeah,
and he's. I do love that he posted a wonderful meme, which was how I sleep at night, thinking that the Patterson Gimlin film is fake, and it's just him laying down asleep.
No, exactly, because I think again, if anybody has pinned all their hopes that is the whole entire thing, they were wrong to begin with, debunked or not. Yeah. They were wrong.
You can't hang your hat on one piece of evidence, no matter what. And this film has been studied as much as the Zapruder film, the JFK assassination. And I think it's going to be discussed, even if this documentary is 100%. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's still going to be discussed. There's always going to be somebody. I mean, there's still people who think the earth is flat, and they're the guys who there was that whole flat earth group that did the study, and then they proved that by accident that the earth is round. Guess what? That blew their lives. This is going to blow a few people's minds either way. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed 100%. So
yeah.
The official Eerie Travels position on this is, well, we haven't seen the documentary, so
wait
we can't answer any questions.
Yeah, wait and see. No comment.
Also, please research if Starlink is launching or any such things before sending us alien pictures. Those are our 2 disclaimers of the day.
Yep. And we'll just leave it at that. All right. So let's move on. Let's do some listener tales. That's what people are here for.
Yeah.
They've heard 100 other people talk about this, and so let's move on. Erica, you decide. You get to decide who goes first.
You go first.
Me go first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, hello, travelers. Hello.
Hello.
I met you at the Green Eyes Festival in Georgia, bought your book, and started listening to your podcast. I love it. Yay. We love the Green Eyes Festival. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, let me tell you a story that happened to me back when I was about 18, 19 years old in 1985, 1986, somewhere around that time. Anyway, I was enjoying a beautiful sunny summer day out on Lake Lanier. A friend of mine had a boat, so there were about 6 of us out enjoying the day. We tied up to a random island, which we found out was haunted after the fact, in the middle of the lake, which had a huge hill, and at the top of the hill was a cemetery. A few of us started walking up the wooded path, and as we were walking, the green grass, flowers, and trees were all starting to look dead. The ground even crunched like burnt leaves under our feet. And that's when it started. We couldn't see the sun any longer, and we heard huge rumbles of thunder. We could see the lightning in the sky through the dead branches of the trees, and the wind whipped the woods. We could barely see anything in front of us. We were only halfway up the hill, but we thought better of going any further, so we took off running down the slippery path with the rain blowing all around us, and we could barely see the path. When we made it back to the shore where our friends were, the sun was shining. Trees were beautiful green. Flowers were in bloom. We were all very confused. They asked us how we all got so wet, and we were like, didn't it storm down here? They looked at us like we were crazy. We told our story to them, and we left immediately and never went back to that island. You see, when they built Buford Dam in the 1950s, it flooded the town of Oscarville, along with all the forgotten graveyards. It said that the entire area of Lake Lanier is haunted, but that was the only time I encountered anything like that on the lake. I didn't know it then, but our inner Erica saved us and told us to get the hell out of there. Joanne.
Joanne, I was like, you went farther up that hill than I would have. The moment it started storming, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to hard pass on this. I would nope out of there. Abso-freaking-lutely. No way. No, 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 nope, nope. Joanne, I'm glad your inner Erica was working at that time. I love 1985 and 86 music, fashion. Don't get me started. I'll go in the Wayback Machine to them anytime.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Now, so what happened? I think. What do you think, Erica? Do you think
I think they encountered an area that had a lot of negative things, and perception is kind of interesting because when people say they encounter like the room suddenly went dark or it was suddenly cold, and you go, okay, well, it's cold in that room, but not in this room. And obviously there are scientific reasons that could be the case. My living room is full of windows and it's colder in there than it is in some of the rooms in the house that are not 100% windows. But I think there is definitely something we don't understand about our understanding of perception, visual, hearing, feeling, that can be affected, because it's kind of like when somebody hears something and others go, what are you talking about, right? Obviously, whatever thing was occurring did not occur on the lower part of the island, but it wasn't like one person went up and went, it's storming. They came back soaking wet. What caused that to occur? Exactly. So I would agree, if they flooded a bunch of graveyards, that you could have some angry dead people.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I honestly think that it kind of sounds a little bit Fae-ish, that you went into an alternate or possibly an alternate universe there. A little bit of like some of our people who've gone into the, that one we had last time where the people went to the beach and they were suddenly in an old style diner and stuff. It could be something like that. That place remembers its past.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, we don't know I don't know if it's dimension shifting, a time warp, whatever, but yeah. I feel like sometimes it's just negative. In that case, negative stuff. The beach one was just weird, right?
Yeah. No,
but a negative like connotation. Yeah. And I also kind of go, do some areas just go, this is how we resolve you not being here? Because the reaction was, we should not be here. They didn't keep going, it would be a great idea. Let's travel into the lightning storm and do that. It gave them enough pause to leave.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. All right.
Thanks, Joanne.
Okay.
Yeah. Where am I at? Okay, here I go.
Yeah.
Where am I at? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Want to know.
Yep, I got it. Want to know how I know for a fact that someone or something is messing with reality. Ooh. The photo is the Google image of a street I grew up on. If you zoom in, you see there's a radio tower or something on the top. When I was a kid, I would stare at the red light slowly blinking. Then I moved away at 9 years old. Many a year later, when I married and had my first kid, I came back to Arizona to visit my family and drove out to see my neighborhood home. The mountain wasn't there. I sat there in my car, parked in the middle of the street, right in front of my childhood home, and stared. It was Arizona. The sky was clear and bright, just like in this photo. I told whoever I was with there was a mountain there, and I used to watch the red light on the tower that was there. Where's the mountain? I love it. It's all kept. I got caught in a Mandela effect concept and referred to this experience all the time. Now, when I look at the house on Google Earth, the mountain is there with the tower. Am I this close flying out to Arizona and see if there's a person there now? Diana. Seeing it there in person now. Yeah. Diana, I hope we get to share those images online, but I get it. That is the whole thing about this weird Mandela, what the heck? Because how many of our listeners tell us of these stories where And if that's something you looked at all the time as a kid, not just once, I saw it once and it was gone. Well, maybe you didn't. But yeah, if it was there, it was there. Where the heck did it go? That's nuts. And then it's back. Okay.
Yeah. No,
maybe we didn't fly to your Arizona the last time.
And people will tell you, just like, me, Mr. Epilepsy, memory can fail you. Memory can remember things that didn't really happen and weren't really there. But when you Google imaged it and you see the mountain and the tower on top, thank you for sending that. Man, it's there. And it wasn't there when you went. So that is what makes me go, okay, there's something to this. And I love your emoji of the person with the shrugged arms.
Yeah, I love that too. That was perfect. Thank you so much, Diana. And then let us know if you go back.
Yeah, we'd love to know. And let us know. And anybody in Arizona, let us know if you want to look into this. We can send you the GPS coordinates and just let us know if there's a mountain there. So,
yeah, we'll have to put the pictures online and just see if anybody says there's a mountain, there's not a mountain.
Yep. That sounds good. We'll maybe put that on the Discord. That'll be good.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So thank you, Diana. All right. You ever hear of the Jingle Man legend? And more importantly,
sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I have not heard this. And more importantly, have you ever heard of a way to survive the encounter after you start hearing the bells? Okay, this is new for me.
Okay. Oh, whoa! I just got tingles, and no, whatever's happening, no. I literally the hair, no, out. I'm out. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll continue then for our
Okay, good. Because I would stop reading at this point.
All right. I feel like nobody is talking about this entity, and that's got to change. Maybe you or your traveler members know more about it. I don't know. And in my opinion, the cryptid entity known stupidly as the Jingle Man is either deadly mass hysteria or the most terrifying parasitic supernatural presence I've ever heard of. I've buried 6 friends in the past few years. All of them took their own lives. All of them in winter, all of them in different states. And all of them believed they were being haunted by this stupid fucking thing. And still, information on this phenomena is few and far between. I still don't know if this entity is real, but I know I can't sleep anymore. They even had this dumb little nursery rhyme to go along with it. Here is bells, in darkness dwells, hide quiet in your beds, the Jingle Man will come again and leave you when you're dead. Anyway, for some context, here's an article about the legend. They sent me the link. I will look into that because, wow. And that's from Nathan.
Okay, you're going to put it in the show notes and never talk about it again because I never want to talk about this again.
All right, we can arrange that. I will say the link is from a folk horror blog that just came out in February.
Okay.
So I'm kind of wondering about this one a little bit. It's kind of modern creepypasta-ish. And me not hearing about it makes me go, because I know my German folklore pretty good. So I'm not saying anything bad, Nathan. I will look into it.
We'll look into it. And then we are terribly sorry for your loss.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's terrible.
That's horrible. But I feel like I don't want to hear any more about this because the moment you even said it, I don't know why, like goosebumps.
That's a good name. Yeah. Like I said, that's what I'm thinking. It's almost a little too on the nose type thing. So, but Nathan, thank you for sending that. We will look into it. And if it's a good thing, I will do an episode on it.
Yes, he will. And I will regret having partnered with him at that time. No, just kidding.
But definitely, I'm sorry for your loss, and thank you for sending that. We'll look into it.
Okay.
All right, and Erica, from our favorite person.
Yes, subject.
I saw this come in. So.
Here we go. Subject: operational notice, temporary oversight measures. I don't love this. Eerie travels. I would say hello, but that's not the direction this is going. This message serves as formal notification that Liaison will continue to be conducting intermittent monitoring of your activities for the indeterminate period.
Wow, it's a lot of
This
words.
person always talks so weird. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a precaution necessitated by circumstances currently unfolding adjacent to your recent lines of inquiry. Liaison's presence should not be interpreted as surveillance, but in the conventional sense. His assignment intersects with your work only tangentially. Through the overlap is sufficient to warrant observation. Simply continue your work with the discretion you have previously demonstrated. Well, that's good. Should your investigations approach thresholds that require intervention, you will be contacted, whether or not the moment feels sequential to you. Liaison will disengage when his assignment concludes. You will be notified when this occurs. You may, however, notice the absence. I remain on assignment X.
Here we go.
Okay, I don't want to talk about the chill that just ran through my body. What the hell does that mean?
The way I read it is that, X is still busy, so he's got this guy Liaison looking at us, and that he's not really watching us closely, but he's kind of watching us.
Yeah,
so
but you know what bothers? Not bothers.
Yeah.
No, it's got me all prickly, right? Is this precaution necessitated by circumstances currently unfolding adjacent to your recent lines of inquiry?
I like the whether or not the moment feels sequential to you. That's almost like, hey, we made travel in time to talk to you.
Oh my gosh, it's mind-blowing. Well, X, it's good to hear from you because
I'm glad you're okay.
We're glad you're in a correct condition. I don't know if okay is the right word for what they are. Yeah. I will say this though. I do not like that one bit because the things that we talk about unfolding and coming out, we've talked about that a lot on a couple of these things, and it makes me and Mark behind the scenes have talked about some of this stuff with dimension stuff and extraterrestrial stuff.
A lot of UAP stuff, yeah.
Yeah, UAP. And we just go, something's coming. Okay. Yeah. Something's coming. So that's
the great comedian. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, X, it is good to hear from you. And I look forward to our lovely friend Liaison telling us what we're doing wrong next, because I'm sure it's going to be something. So,
yeah, crazy. Okay. All right, here we go. Mountain lion sighting. I am certain I saw a mountain lion today near Waynesville. Hey, this is a lot of local stuff today. Did not even occur to me to take a picture of it because I just assumed that we had those out here. After all, we are in the mountains, so I just assumed that it would be normal to have mountain lions, right? Looked it up later and realized that we do not officially have a big cat population here. I assume no one will believe me. Not sure what to do about this because I cannot prove it, but I know what I saw. I have spent over a decade bird watching. I understand perspective and lighting and how all sorts of visual factors can be deceptive to our perception. Thank you for pointing that out. But I also know how to account for these things and minimize falsely identifying what I'm looking at. What I saw while eating lunch indoors, some motion outside caught my eye. I looked up to see a cat skulking its way across the parking lot. Wow, that is a huge cat, I thought to myself. It made its way past a few cars, and its size was striking. It was about as tall as the tires on the SUV next to it, but it was also long. It looked 4 times as long as it was tall. A lot of its length was in this long, thick tail. The tail was not bushy or fluffy like a house cat, but a solid, thick rod trailing behind it. It had this sleek, elongated silhouette that did not match any sort of canine or house cat. It had to be some sort of big cat species. One thing going against my account, though, is it appeared darker in color than what I would expect a mountain lion to look like. From the look I got of the animal, it seemed like a dark brown, almost a solid black color, instead of the pale tawny I would expect. But maybe that was just the lighting and the way the sun was hitting it. Even with the color difference, the size and silhouette alone does not match a bobcat, coyote, or stray cat. What do I do about this? Obviously, no one will believe me, which is frustrating because I am not a crazy person. Is this worth reporting this sighting? Is there a better explanation that I am missing here? Anonymous.
Yeah. So, my friend, 1, you're not crazy. 2,
Yep.
we 10,000% believe you. And 3, it also could be a panther. So, one of the things that, Mark likes to talk about a lot is the fact is people, if you talk to the park rangers and say, are there big cats, blah, blah, no, that's not a thing here. But if you go, what do they call them?
ABCs. Have you had any ABC encounters?
Yep.
Reports. And then they'll go, oh, you have to do a Freedom of Information Act for those.
Yeah. Because they do see them. We've had trail cam images of these big cats. And whether they're because somebody let them go, because we know a lot of people let go of exotic animals. And guess what? They will breed. They know how to do that. Or if it's a catamount come back from the, the edge of extinction, there are areas even of the Smoky Mountains that are unexplored in general. Like they're not, what is it, the word when you completely map and go through and they're words.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not catching what you're saying, but I get that.
It's not unexplored, but so people might have been in that area, but they're not truly like, we know everything.
They're not inhabited and not thoroughly explored. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, and not constantly monitored.
No.
And then there are animals out there that we don't know. I mean, and of course, there's stories of wampus cats and classic, like I said, the catamount was here and then it went extinct. It looked like kind of a panther and it looked like a mountain lion, a darker skinned mountain lion.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are weird, bobcats that can get, strange melatonin issues and get darker skin and darker
have
fur.
The tail normally.
They don't have that tail. And this guy really talks like he knows what he's talking about. So we believe you. You've reported it to us. I don't know that there's anywhere else to necessarily report it, but you said the words parking lot, which tells me this thing was walking near a more populated area. Yeah.
So
I would pass it on to the state parks and recreation, but I'll see who really wants that. I'll reach out to some of my friends who are botanists and oh God,
who
zoologists
to is Cryptids of the Corn. You could ask Justin, who would
might know Justin
know that.
Who we need to report it to.
Yeah, because if you want to go down the rabbit hole on that, they talk a lot about, because he's a biologist. They talk about like the hyena herds that are in this country that nobody talks about, right?
Yeah, they listen to their Freaky Fauna Fridays. We love them to death. So
all
right. Well, thank you, Anonymous. And yes, report, document. That's how we find these things. And with that, Erica, I think we need to take a break.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be right back.
Destiny Beard, the lyrical soprano who will haunt your dreams. With her alluring melodies and intricate harmonies, this dark siren of wistful song shall capture your soul and lead you into the night. Check out Destiny's new single, The Haunting Is Over, with international musicians Sam Haines and Gary Bennett, as well as her other musical works at destinybeard.com.
We're back.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
This is a wild ride. We've got big cats. We got X. I don't even know what to think.
Yeah, I don't know. And a couple alternate universe type things. This is great. Loving it already. So
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Whose turn is it? That was mine. So next is you.
Yeah. What personal encounter made you believe in cryptids? How did it change your perception of reality, Jim?
Oh.
Well, Jim, before Mark goes into a diatribe about the bench leg creature, I would suggest listening to the episodes on that, because he goes through and he explains that entire story for for the listening audience, and if you're okay, Mark, I think it would be best if they did that, because
we'll leave it there. If you look into it, look up Bench Like a Goble Ridge. It's my blog on it. I've talked about it on a bunch of radio shows. We've talked about it on this show quite a bit. We talked about it at Dragon Con, which was a lot of fun because somebody cosplayed it.
Yes.
It's everybody's got a local cryptid. Everybody's got a Bigfoot encounter or something strange. Erica's got other strange encounters that
I was gonna say I have more fae, ghost, whatever, not clearly defined because I have no effing idea what it is, but those kind of encounters. And I talked about that on an early episode, which we could throw the link to in our show notes, where we talked about our first, our childhood experiences. We had an episode on that. So we'll find the link and throw it in the show notes for you guys. Yep. So you can catch up on all that is what started us both off on our various paths.
And also available in Eerie, Appalachia, available in fine bookstores everywhere. I wrote a big story on the bench like there. And it might turn up in our next book, Dark Heart of Appalachia, just because we're revisiting a few things to do deeper dives. So
wow.
Available for pre-order soon.
And I can't believe you plugged that, but it looks like you've got one that I wouldn't want to read anyway. So go.
Yeah, so here we go. Thanks, Jim, for that question.
Yeah.
All right. So I moved around a lot as a kid. We were the kind of family that would have boxes that would always go unopened and undisturbed between moves. My dad was a good guy, but had issues with authority. So he usually had issues keeping a stable job for more than a year or so. When the lease was up, we'd move closer to the new job. Anyway, during one of these moves, my dad found a steal next to his job. It was an old 2-bed, 1-bath house with a detached garage. I want to say it was around $300 a month for rent, and in 2003. Apparently, it was in a rough part of town. The landlord told us, I don't want to go into specifics, but I am required to tell you that someone has passed away in the house within the last 5 years. My dad saw a great deal and shrugged it off. Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Burn it down already.
Well, we moved in soon after, and the thing started very quickly. There were noises in the house all the time. It was like we had other people living there. It would generally be noises that you'd expect when other people are around. Things like drawers opening and closing, doors swinging around on their own, water turning on in the bathroom, and then back off. Nothing malicious was happening, so we just lived with it. Another weird quirk about the house was that the front door had a keyhole on both sides, so you could not leave the locked house unless you had a key. You can probably guess where this is going. But not a week or so after we moved in, we lost the keys.
Oh, my goodness.
Boxes still littered the house, and we were still in unpacking hell. So my dad, obviously stressed from the whole situation, started getting loud about the keys. He accused me of stealing them. He was cursing and being a general pain. Then out of nowhere, we hear the keys hit the floor in the living room right in front of the couch, right onto the floor. He picks them up and tries to rationalize with what just happened. He says, F it, and leaves the house for work. Over the next few months, the stupid keys are the center of the activity. My dad would put them in a glass bowl on top of the TV, and every day after work, somehow they would be moved by the morning. My favorite spot by far was when he found them in a sealed box of pots and pans that we hadn't unpacked. It had those little handle holes on the side of the box, and it's like someone just shoved them into the hole out of spite. We all got a good laugh out of that one. So right now your listeners are probably going like, okay, what's scary about some noises and some keys moving around? Well, here you go. Oh, goodness.
I was almost okay with this story. I was like, well, that doesn't seem too hard. I should have known.
Well, the worst thing that happened fairly frequently was the stomping. Most nights around 2 to 3 a.m., there would be very heavy footsteps pacing in the hallway outside of our bedrooms. I confirmed with my dad when I was older that, yes, it kind of freaked him out too. We had been living in this place for about 8 months at this point, and I was probably around 8 years old. I heard the stomping one night, and I just couldn't take it. I screamed out into the hallway, "Stop stomping around. I need to sleep, God damn it." 15 seconds of silence was abruptly interrupted by what sounded like a bull running full speed into my room. Then my door had 3 very aggressive slamming knocks, one after another. It was so loud, my dad woke up and came to check on me. My stomach started to turn, and I suddenly felt like I had to use the toilet. I was frozen in bed when I heard my dad call out to me, "You okay, buddy?" From his bedroom, I must have mustered up the courage to head out in the hallway. As I got up, I could tell something wasn't right. I was shaking like a leaf, and my bowels were trying to evacuate while I was walking. I ran as fast as I could to the toilet, but it did not help. There was a trail from about halfway between my bedroom and the toilet. And my poor dad, worried about my safety, followed me into the bathroom to figure out what the hell just happened. I explained everything, crying on the toilet and making a mess of myself in the house. I was embarrassed and terrified. After this, my dad told me, "If you ever feel uncomfortable, you can come sleep in my room. Nothing can bug you when I'm around." That's a good dad.
Burn that house to the ground.
All right. The final straw came a week later. My dad had been dating a girl for over a year, and she had been staying with us more and more. One of the nights she stayed over, they had a really minor fight right before bed. I think it was about cleaning or chores. Anyway, they both went to bed grumpy about it. Right around that magic 2 or 3 a.m. mark, his girlfriend got yanked out of bed by one of her ankles and got dragged out of the bedroom and down the hallway. By her account, she woke up after she was on the floor and felt someone pulling on her leg, and it took her a while to realize what exactly was happening. She shrieked, and whatever it was let her go. She ran back into the bedroom, turned on the lights, and explained the whole thing to my dad. He sent me off to the aunt's house and stayed in the house alone for a few months while looking for another place to go. He figured it would be safer without me there. During the packing and moving out of the house, my dad had some friends swing by to keep him company while he packed. Almost everyone who came by to help mentioned that they saw a small white dog walking around when they entered the house. Yeah, that place was haunted AF. I still think about it from time to time. I wonder if the people who live there now deal with the same stuff or if it's all calmed down. Wow. Bonus extra DLC story.
So for those that might not know that terminology, it means downloadable content. When you play video games, they're usually extras that the developers give you, different quests and stuff you can do. But
like a director's cut, adding a few extra scenes and stuff like that. My dad's girlfriend had brought a yoga ball to the house, and as a rambunctious 8-year-old, I wanted to play with it all the time. She tells me I can play with it, but I have to be careful. So we lightly toss it back and forth down this hallway. And after a minute or two, I toss the ball and it freezes midair before it makes it to her and comes right back to me. She was mortified, and I was too young to realize what had happened. And she didn't want to freak out her boyfriend's 8-year-old son, me. So she quickly just said she didn't want to play with it anymore, and we went and did something else. From Tom. Wow.
Tom, you got to send us the address. I need to make sure that the house is, I don't go anywhere near it. I'm keeping a log of all the places to absolutely not go to under any circumstances. I need to make sure I can put this in my log of places never to go to. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely something going on there. Again, I don't think anything really vicious, just a lot of noises and things you didn't understand. So, except for her getting dragged down the street.
Her getting dragged down the street, and what happened to him to make a child lose his bowels because of how both of those things, and in a short period of time after moving there, Mark, stop being nice. Burn this house to the ground.
If you don't understand what it is, I can see being scared, but it's, it is what it is. So,
okay.
All right.
And now everybody listen to why I will not get into the same trouble Mark gets into doing things. I hope you just heard that in real life.
Yeah. You can listen to your inner Erica or listen to your inner Mark and just say, hey, it's not hurting anything. It's just making a lot of noise. So there you go.
Or your inner Erica that says move and burn it to the ground.
Yep. All right.
Again, we have a realtor that can help you find a new house here in Western North Carolina. Okay.
I don't know how you did this, but you picked right this time because everything is short for you, and I'm getting
I see that. This is working out really well for me.
All right.
We can take a turn. Do you want to read this one? Because
no,
I
it's
see
fine.
that
It's fine.
along the same line. Let's just switch. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm good.
No, because I'll read the next big long one. That's probably going to be terrifying, and I'm going to regret it. And you've tricked me.
You probably will. All right. All right. This one is had a big old wampus cat, as I'm told, walk across the front of my truck one evening. He glanced at me and kept it moving. Pretty big, maybe if I had to guess, around 200 pounds. Its body was around 4 to 5 feet long, and tail is just as well. This was back in November of 2020 in southern West Virginia. Josh. Hey, there we go. Speaking of the devil.
Exciting. Telling you. And I don't think that's necessarily a wampus cat. It could have been. But there's big cats.
Yeah, there are big cats out there that are undocumented or unproven, ABCs, and we know that is a thing. So again, it's a cryptid because we don't understand what it is, but it could just be a cat, a panther. I find that more believable than, a tribe of apes living out there, because I think there's more unusual things out there that we don't understand. And I think a big cat, that could just be a big cat. So
agreed. Okay.
This is a long one. Sorry, Erica.
No, don't be sorry. I just already feel like I'm going to regret this, but here we go. Okay. So thank you, Josh, and thanks for reporting it. Mark will include it when he talks to Justin about where the heck to report these big cat things.
Yep.
So, okay. I was catching up with you guys and thought of my weird day of strangeness. Well, that's nice of you. I'm glad that what we provoke is thinking of your weird day of strangeness. Okay. It's time to send you all my story. On Valentine's Day 2020, I was out running errands. It was around midday, and I'd gone to get a few things for my toddler and niece, last minute gifts for V-Day and such. So oddly enough, 2 separate incidents occurred within about 2 hours' time. The first happened while driving on Interstate 295. Where's 295? Is that in Florida?
There's a few 295, so I'm not sure.
Well,
it's usually a bypass of a city on 95. So.
Okay, good. I'm in the fast one. I look in the rearview mirror and see a police car speeding up behind me. I considerately get over into the middle lane to let the cop proceed past me, and the car passes. I, without a thought, look over and catch a glimpse of the police officer driving. Nothing was strange about it at first. I saw a white male officer in a uniform with a shaved head looking forward as he drove past me. Now, this is where it got strange. He then gets over into my lane, so now he's in front of me, and then immediately gets all the way over and takes the next exit we're coming up to and gets off. So, of course, I'm thinking, oh, good, I can get back in the fast lane and speed again. Except before I have a chance to think or get over, I'm glancing to my left, and lo and behold, I'm witnessing the exact same scene as just 30 seconds ago. Same car, same white male officer looking forward, and he drives past me. Hell, I even moved my head at the exact same precise timing to see and witness this unfold as it just had. You'll never guess what happens next. The police car, as suddenly as it passed me in the left lane, is now getting over in front of me and proceeds off the next exit coming up to my right. Okay, I'm not freaking out at this point. I'm just like, well, that was weird, and continue with my day. You are a braver soul than I, friend, because I would be freaking the F out right now. Okay, about an hour later, I'm at Walmart. Well, things are just going to get weird from here. We all know that. I mean, Walmart. That's where I got my Nope sweater, by the way, everybody. Okay. About an hour later at Walmart, I walk in, and the holiday aisle is directly as you walk into the store. So I'm in the Valentine section. There's not much left, so I'm scrounging through the barren shelves to find some hidden gems my niece and daughter might appreciate when a person briskly walks past the end of the aisle I'm on. I just happened to look to see the person, but I noticed it because he's holding a cute little gift bag. And I even commented to myself something along the lines of, oh, he's got a little gift for his sweetie. Hee hee. So I saw exactly what he was wearing and all. It was average height, slicked brown hair, blue button-up shirt, black slacks, shiny black dress shoes, holding that smaller size gift bag by the handles, like he'd purchased jewelry or some small gift, not like folded up to go pay for. I looked, so yeah, it was a little off, I suppose. But then all of a sudden, next thing I know, it's happening all over again. I looked down for a few seconds at the stuff on the shelves, and then something made me look up towards the end of the aisle. And this guy was literally walking past yet again, the same exact guy holding the same exact gift bag. Now this time, yes, I started losing my shit. I frantically walked to the end of the aisle with my buggy to look towards the checkout lines and the door that I was near to see if I could catch him, possibly his evil twin from literally 15 seconds ago. But he was nowhere to be seen, or his twin. They just vanished. I probably look like a mad woman after witnessing, because I'm expressing myself out loud, saying things like, wait a minute, and no fucking way. And I beelined it to the checkout and got the F out of there. It was just then, in my confused stupor, that I recalled the previous incident with the officers on 295 that had happened an hour before, and how much it was too much of a coincidence to witness two similar scenarios in a short time period. Now, I've been into strange and mysterious stuff, but it was only then I started researching and learning about glitches in the Matrix, and found I was not alone in what I experienced. That's when I found your show. I just wish I had been recording, although there's always some supernatural paranormal stuff going on around me. That was the only time I've ever had the privilege of witnessing such unique, mystifying encounters as two separate glitches in the Matrix on Valentine's Day. Jane. Well, Jane, I'll tell you, it's weird, and we doubt our perceptions on stuff like that, but I am so glad you didn't doubt your perception, right? I really am, because these are kind of the weird things that you go, wait, did I just see that? And, obviously there could be two cop cars with two different white cops driving them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that was exactly my thought. And
I walked past people at Walmart, and seeing them again or whatever, but they're not usually doing the exact repeated motion, like you're in some weird time loop with them. So that's bizarre. Jane, thank you for sharing that story. But glitches in the Matrix, totally real. What they are, no earthly idea, but they're there. We hear about them all the time. There's no denying something is occurring that causes people to either be stuck in time kind of loops, for lack of a better word, or somewhere else that's similar to our world, but not our world. So thank you for sharing. And I'm glad you found us. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And yeah, glitches in the Matrix, our thing. We've heard, like you just heard on this, we've had a few others so far. Yep. And I don't know what to tell you what they are. We just know they're something people experience. And thank you for documenting it. So, and we'll know to watch for that on Valentine's Day. But
yes.
Yeah. Tell us which 295 that was, so Erica can avoid it, and so I can go investigate.
No, I don't want. I am not as worried about glitches in the Matrix. What I'm worried about is demonic, fae, or otherworldly presences that don't want me there. Please and thank you. No, hard pass. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This is another short one. It's a question.
Okay.
I was thinking about getting a protection rune / sigil tattooed, but I saw someone say that it's not a good idea to do so. Why is that? From Hayden. I have some thoughts.
Okay. I have some thoughts too. Here's the thing is, I think, we have a friend of the show called the Sigil Witch. It's Sigil Witch on Instagram. You can look her up, that sort of thing. Her name is Janine. She's amazing. And she can create a sigil for you that's to you.
That's the key.
We do not 100%, I don't care who's telling you, always know what runes and symbology means.
Yep.
And I think, we always say intention.
Yep.
But you can screw up intention by messing around with things that you are not fully aware of.
You can also, the problem is it's also the intention of the tattooist. That's why a lot of people don't suggest that. If the tattooist is having a bad day or something like that, they could put some negative energy into it, and then you got that for the rest of your life. That's our sigil witch. She's very good. She won't do it someday. She's like, hey, I know we've been set up, but I'm having a bad day. I can't do that. That's a good practitioner will tell you that. And
exactly.
Also,
and she'll also go, she refuses. She doesn't just tattoo anyone. You can't just call her and she'll tattoo you. If she doesn't feel the vibe or doesn't feel like it's a good idea, she'll tell you no. That tells you that they are a good person. If somebody is willing to refuse service to somebody, that means they're more genuine as far as I'm concerned, because they're not willing to just do whatever anybody's asking them to do. So I think getting your own version is a great idea. I do not suggest tattooing something other than if you think it's a cool symbol and you just happen to like it and want it very much like a tattoo of Edward from Twilight, which Stacey Brown legitimately told me recently he's going to do.
He is going to murder you.
I know he's going to murder me. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
But
he can't murder me now
I know
because I just said he's going to murder me. So
no, we know somebody who got a tattoo and thought it was courage in Farsi. And when she found out, it actually was go F yourself, because the person, the tattooist was upset. So that's why just be careful. Go to a person that you trust. That's the key. And
we always hear all the time about, you can Google this, Chinese symbols that people had tattooed on them that instead of saying strength, say pancake,
Yeah. It was a Big Bang Theory where she thought something said brave and it said soup. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Hayden. I hope we helped. But a tattoo can be a wonderful thing if you do it right. So there you go.
Exactly. Sigil witch. Okay.
Yeah.
Apologies in advance. What?
I think one more and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Although we have many more to go too. So we might throw another one of these episodes in soon so we can catch up on all your guys' amazing stories.
Yep.
Okay. Apologies in advance since English is not my first language. That is 100% okay. We love our listeners around the world.
Yep.
Here we go. It happened in 2021. FYI, I live in India in the eastern part. Oh, well, I think this is our first.
I think it's our first one from India. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's exciting. Welcome. Okay. I live in India in the eastern part of it. So back in my college days, me and my friends would always plan out an outing together every couple of weeks in remote forest areas, and would always pick and go for forest areas which are built around river dams by the government. As I write this, I am legit getting chills thinking about the moment, because I never ever saw anything like that in my entire life. So whenever we plan an outing like this, our general plan is to always make food in the forest area, which is, again, a good picnic spot, since a lot of people visit there for family picnic and stuff. But as you know, we are youngsters, get an extra thrill to do things on the extreme level. So my friends and I decided to pick a spot far, far away from the usual picnic spot in the forest. Oh, my friend, the warnings I could give you. Okay, so we cooked our food, ate it, and cleaned up the mess, and we're ready to head back. But since we had ventured far from the actual picnic spot, so we had to walk on the opposite side around 70 to 80 meters to not be seen by the forest rangers and officials. Yes, we did this stupid shit before it was such a normal thing for us. While walking back, I stopped to take a pee. And while doing that, I shouted towards my friends and told them to carry on walking. Now, I picked a spot close to a bush and 2 trees, and the source was a flashlight, was on my mobile phone. So I did my deed, but while doing it, I saw the bushes were moving for a couple of seconds. Well, I passed peeing, which kind of startled me. Now, you have to understand that it was around 5:36 in the evening time, so my main source of light was the phone's flashlight. I got curious, thinking it might be a rat or something, so I threw a rock at the bush, and I heard a noise which I never heard in my life, even once, like a hiss sound, a mix of a snake hiss and a cat hiss. Upon hearing that, I thought it might be a snake, so I shouted for my friends and called them back to check it out with me. I picked up a small stick and started to poke the bushes while the thing was hissing, and then I saw the bush felt lighter, as if something was sitting between it and had just gone down from it. All the movements inside the bush, all the movements inside the bush that was happening at this time completely stopped. As I walked around the bush, I saw a huge black spider. Oh, I already don't like this. Oh my gosh. I saw a huge black spider, which in diameter would be around 1 to 2 feet in length. It had around 40 to 60 centimeters in diameter. Had both of its front legs on the air as it was a warning pose like spiders do. I never felt such fear in my entire life. And the second it ran towards the other side of the dense bushes in such a speed was frightening, to say the least. I straight up jolted towards my friends, and my friends asked me. I told them the entire event. They laughed and said I was making stuff up. To this day, I still haven't seen a spider that big. And this is from Fuzzy. I love that your name is Fuzzy. Fuzzy, words. Even the biggest spiders that I know of out there, and Mark's wife is a spider connoisseur, are not almost 2 feet in diameter. Hard pass. That's something out of like a Harry Potter movie. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's pretty big. I mean, I've seen bird spiders get pretty big. I had one that attacked me at one point, and before I had met Carrie, that had come in on a shipping crate when we were getting Xboxes at GameStop, that were coming in off pallets from overseas, and this thing had, piggybacked on one of the pallets. It was a beast, and I don't think it was that big, but it was pretty dang big. So
yeah,
that's a monster, and I'm thinking arachnophobia there from the general from that movie.
You mean that wasn't that what's his name? John
Goodman. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There was a spider that led it all called the General. So yep. All right. Yeah. Well, gang, we have a lot more stories to go, but they will wait for another time. Keep them coming. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. And I love that giant spider. We have big cats. We had everything this time. So
oh my goodness. Fuzzy, no, thank you anyway. I am really good, never encountering a spider. I will have to look up
Indian spiders. I'm sure Carrie will go down that rabbit hole for me and tell me what it might have been, but also that if it was something unusual, as it is, it's something you saw that didn't make sense and something that shouldn't have been there as far as you were concerned. So that's what we're all about.
I hope, if nothing else, this tells us all to follow the general guidelines of these types of environments. Pretty please with sugar on top, or giant spiders will attack you from bushes. Oh, Mark, how are you going to take us away this time?
Well, again, thank you, patrons, for keeping us afloat. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, sponsors. We love you all. You're all keeping us going. We've got tons of events coming up, so make sure you check out eerietravels.com. And if you want to order some merch from there, we've got it up, and we'd love to see you. We finally have Eerie Travels Smokies, Dark Side of the Smokies, in stock on the website. They've been out, and now they're back. So please order if you need one. And man, we love these. This is amazing. And thank you all so much for sending these. These make our day every time we get one. So except for you, X, you kind of put us on some trepidation there. But
they don't always make my day, but they are terribly entertaining and give me nightmares. Does that count?
That counts.
Okay.
So all that said, congratulations on sending us through another journey of listener tales. We love them. We live for them. And we hope when you're out there and you see something strange out on Lake Lanier or down in a holler that has a wampus cat, keep your ears open, keep your eyes open, document. And when you move into that house and you hear the knocking at the door, listen to your inner Erica and run away, and we'll see you on the other side.